Thanks for joining us from the Ohio AgNet Voice You Know with the News You Trust studio, sponsored by the Family Forest Carbon Program, where we help family forest owners get paid to improve the health of their woods. Well, let's begin with an update on the Buckeye Temp Tracker. Joel?
It's time for our final Buckeye Temp Tracker this spring, brought to you by B&A Genetics. Real service, real results. More information at bagenetics.com. Quite the change from last week's highs of the year as we take a look at soil temperatures in 4 locations around the state in both corn and bean stubble fields. Across the board, we're seeing about 5 to even 12 degree temperature drops from last week. Let's start in central Ohio, Morrow County. Soil in the corn stubble field, 60 degrees. Bean stubble, 57 degrees. 6 and 11 degree drops, respectively, from last week. In Perry County, the corn stubble field soil is down 6 degrees Fahrenheit to a reading of 62 degrees, and the bean stubble field off 12 degrees to 59 degrees. Fayette County's corn stubble field dropped 5 degrees to 59, and the bean stubble field down 7 degrees to 57 reading. And in western Ohio, Mercer County down 4 degrees for corn to a reading of 61, and its bean stubble field falling 6 degrees to 60. Again, all down from last week, and if this Buckeye Temp Tracker were to wait a couple more days, I'd expect readings to fall even further. See how things have trended throughout the entire season online at ohioagnet.com, thanks to B&A Genetics. I'm Joel Norwood reporting.
Thanks, Joel. Well, USDA issued a series of proposals intended to support small farms.
Ag Secretary Brooke Rollins issued a suite of proposals intended to support small family farms across rural America. John Walt Boatwright, Director of Government Affairs for the American Farm Bureau Federation, says this is a critical time to support all of agriculture, but particularly small farmers.
We all know the farm economy is not doing quite well at the moment, but especially so for small family farms. The proposal notes about 86% of America's farmers are small farmers, and they really wanted a chance to tout some policy proposals and ideas that would specifically help these small farmers get through these tough times, and we were excited to see it happen.
Boatwright says Farm Bureau made several recommendations to USDA related to small farms ahead of the announcement.
We raised issues ranging from efficiencies with local FSA and NRCS offices to expanded and enhanced risk management options for these small farming operations to addressing bigger, larger issues such as burdensome and complex regulations that small farmers just simply aren't equipped to wrap their arms around.
Chad Smith, Washington.
The Make America Healthy Again Commission will release a report this week that may have a significant impact on America's farmers, producers, and ranchers, and the public's trust in the food system. A number of agricultural groups are asking the administration to consider the consequences of the report before it's finalized. The USDA's latest dairy forecasts included updates to 2025 production and price outlooks, and the first look at 2026.
Higher production.
The driver behind USDA's May look at 2025 dairy production and price forecast, as well as the initial outlook for the 2026 calendar year. According to World Agricultural Outlook Board Chair Mark Jekanowski,
mainly driven by increased cow inventories, but also some growth in milk per cow as well.
With next year's projected milk production to be up 600 million pounds year over year. Skim solid dairy exports are expected up in 2026, as well as increased domestic use both this year and next. Turning to dairy price forecast,
2025 all milk price forecast was raised by 50 cents per hundredweight. It's now at $21.60 per hundredweight.
I'm Ron Bain reporting for the U.S. Department of Agriculture in Washington, D.C.
The markets are next. Every time you use biodiesel, you're fueling more than your engine. You're investing in Ohio's farmers, reducing emissions and creating cleaner air for all of us. Did you know biodiesel adds 13% in value to every bushel of soybeans grown? That's good for farms, good for families, and good for the future. Drive with purpose. Choose biodiesel. Learn how at soyohio.org.
Many drugs, like cocaine, methamphetamine, and non-prescription pills, are often cut with dangerous opioids like fentanyl. As a result, nearly 14 Ohioans die daily from unintentional overdoses. That's why it's important to carry naloxone, such as Narcan, a life-saving medication that blocks the effects of fentanyl and other opioids. Over the last 5 years, naloxone has saved over 83,000 lives. Help save lives and visit naloxone.ohio.gov to learn more and find free naloxone. Remember, if you see an overdose occurring, always call 911.
The market's brought to you by Seed Consultants. Simply better performance online at seedconsultants.com. At the Board of Trade, July corn $4.61 up 6.5. December corn $4.55 1/2 up 7. July soybeans $10.62 3/4 up 9 3/4. November beans $10.52 1/4 up 11 1/4. July wheat $5.49 1/4 up 3 1/4. At the Mercantile Exchange, June cattle $214.15 up 97 cents. June hogs $99.52 down 50 cents. August feeder cattle $296.42 down $1.07. This is the Ohio AgNet.